princess gets captured by a dragon. You have to fight the dragon, and then after that, you save the princess.
And we're live. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oh.
This is Tangents on Everything and Nothing with our guest Tyler Deford.
Hello.
With me as usual to steal a line is Jeremiah Freeman. Say hello, Jeremiah.
Steal a line.
Yes. Sam cannot be here for different obligations, and I, John Simon, am your pseudo-host behind the camera.
He's there.
Take it away, Jeremiah. Put that back.
So today was a terrible day at work for me. Tyler, how was your day at work?
Well, it was all right. I got up extra early to make a rainy trip down to Odin for a conference with a lot of folks that, nice folks, but I would have rather been sleeping in or not driving in the rain. So could have been better. Wasn't so bad.
Could have been worse. Oh,
That's
wait,
right.
it was raining. Can't use that line.
Yeah, it could have been raining.
Could have been better. Could have been snowing.
Oh, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well,
7 or something like that.
Yeah, I was already at work then.
there were a few people that came down from Indy, and they were like, yeah, the first hour, because they had to drive 2, it was all snow. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'll stop complaining then.
Yeah.
But
The weather in Indiana has been really unpredictable in the last week and a half. We've had 80-degree days and 30-degree days.
It'll be 80 degrees on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's get a little more into this besides just rambling on. Who is Tyler?
who am I
Yeah.
really? I am an independent IT consultant. I work for several different businesses around Owen County and the surrounding counties, mostly small businesses, mostly nonprofits. It just worked out that way. Went to school for informatics and worked for a startup for a little bit and sort of found my way out on my own eventually, and so that's where I am, and here I am. One of the places I do work for is the library, and so run into these fine fellows occasionally on a Monday night working on something. Been called in before trying to help these fine fellows when something was acting up and getting in the way of the podcast starting. So finally I figured I may as well jump in and see what it's all about.
How long have you had your own little consulting IT business, independent?
Boy, time is strange. So since April of 2020, at least part-time, and then full-time since the beginning of last year.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
There's plenty of work around here for that, right?
Yeah, I think that there has been so far. I've been consistently busy as I needed to be, and I think I'm hitting a niche where any smaller and you probably don't need IT, and if you get too much bigger, you would probably have somebody dedicated, but the in-between might be too expensive to hire somebody full-time, not really what you need, and so that's sort of where I come in.
So you don't work for any one person full-time per se, but you spend time with each person once a week, once a month?
Yeah, just depending on what we have set up. There's a few people that it's sort of, I come in one day a week and deal with everything. Some people it's just remote support and they just call me if they need something.
Okay.
And then, just emergency calls or, hey, can you come down and look at this?
Yeah.
Just sort of like you would call a plumber or whatever.
I
The
know.
internet's not working. We don't know why. Can you please come? Okay, sure.
I know that's what we used you for at Babs quite a bit.
Yep, and really, that's kind of one of the things I got my start in. I was working there. I sort of did that since I was the person who knew, I guess, at the time.
Yeah.
And it just sort of spun off into that full time. And I'm honestly very grateful for that, that you believed in me and were, gave me the opportunity to help when I could.
Yeah. Seems like Babs is good about that. People
yes, absolutely.
People who know what they're doing will give them opportunities.
I would have to agree with that. And, I would like Babs anyway, just because I think it's a nice place, and I think I've worked there long enough over the years.
Right.
But, yes, I do, not sponsored, Although, if you want to sponsor,
Kind
I'm not sponsoring the sponsors, but
I'm sorry. I always promote generally when I'm here.
Oh, well, I was gonna say product placement. But
Yep.
but no, it was great, and say you won't get me to say much bad about Bab's Supermarket.
I usually find one thing bad to say per week.
Just one.
Yes, just
Well,
one.
that-
All right, what's your one?
Our warehouse has no products in it.
Oh no.
We're still having all kinds of struggle getting different products in.
Yeah.
Today it was someone's coffee creamer that I can't get in.
That's the very flavor that they must have.
Right,
They
because he
bought
wants
it here
to.
for 30 years.
What did he say? He puts it on his fish sticks and oatmeal.
Oh, well, you can't have fish
Yes.
sticks and oatmeal without just the right
Creme
coffee creamer.
brulee coffee mate. Because
okay.
that's what it takes.
I see. It's basically he's made some sort of really rarefied s'more, maybe.
With fish sticks.
Fish sticks. Okay.
Fish sticks.
All right. Well, to each their own, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, no. Just as people need me, they seem to call. I think I get a lot of business just when someone's complaining about a computer problem, and somebody says, "Oh, our guy, he seems to be okay," and I'm hoping that that's what I can be for people. Better than just letting your internet catch fire. So
Right.
which is never good.
Nope.
Uh,
And you're not looking to be the guy that everyone calls and put your phone number in the phone book or anything like that, right?
Well, no, at least not, unless I'm charging by the hour. of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
No.
I
but-
know I've kind of gotten that reputation for, hey, I know a guy that can open up your house for you.
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
number of word of mouth customers, or hey, while you're here, kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I have a trade skill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you take a look at my garbage disposal? I can.
Yeah.
I can't fix it, but I can take a look at it. Yep, there it is.
Boy, that sure is a garbage disposal if I've ever seen one.
That looks like top of the line.
That's a garbage disposal. How dare you?
I know sometimes that people will say, hey, can you fix this? And I'm like, that's a microwave. It's like, well, it's computer.
It's got a
it's-
digital.
It's kind of got a screen. It kind of looks like the TV. I'm like, well, so my thing is I will fix it if it plugs into the wall and you don't do anything in the kitchen with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well, I
sort
can
of...
always put it in another room.
What's that?
I can always put it in another room.
Well, if you would not normally see it in a kitchen. Like if you were watching Family Feud and they did what would you find in your kitchen? Like those type of items.
Yeah.
If Family Feud wouldn't call it, then I probably wouldn't work on it.
You would have been able to fix my tenant's electric chainsaw.
Yes, but not because I'm an IT person, because I just had to do that to my chainsaw very recently, and I had to look it up. So
I actually want to go on a weird tangent here. We're talking about that stuff. Smart appliances in the kitchen that actually hook up to the internet. You think one day, since refrigerators already do it,
Yes.
will there be a microwave that hooks up to the internet?
Yes.
So you can automatically look up that time and recipe for your particular model. So all you have to do is place in your frozen dinner, hit, hey, I put in a product brand name here, fried chicken pot pie.
A la mode.
I think I may have seen somebody on YouTube that did one of those with like a Raspberry Pi in some kind of database. But I know back in the 90s they had a microwave that was like pre-programmed with like thousands of frozen dinners.
Well, they do. Well, they kind of do it now. It's really generic in its own space, but it's like baked potato.
It was
Popcorn.
no. This
Child.
was like a little dictionary, and you're like, I'm making like artichoke, and you go, okay, artichoke. That's 562, and you put it in, and it would run it for 5 or 6 cycles or whatever.
However it
and
needed to.
Just first this cycle, then turn up the heat and run it again. It's like, what? Honestly, they're putting computers and internet and making everything worse. Like, what? Where was that? What happened to that?
I
like
have
tech tree.
Something about that too is smart locks that you can lock and unlock wirelessly from away from home. The worst thing they could have did.
Oh yeah.
You're introducing more security weaknesses and stuff like that. What happens if somebody gets your phone? Now they've got your house. What happens if your phone glitches and you don't have a key? And There's just too many problems. That was a dumb idea.
Well,
Dumb thing.
Ford says that the fried chicken pot pie would be a bestseller, so we should do that.
what's that?
Fried chicken pot pie, TM.
Fried chicken pot pie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we should do that.
I've had one time. My mom used to make homemade pot pie, and she liked cooking the chicken first because she wanted that crunch on the inside of a pot pie.
I
So,
can see that.
so Bisquick was her
Yeah.
thing of choice, and great big thick crust on the bottom and kind of a thick crust on the top in a 9x13 casserole dish. But fried chicken on the inside with French fried onions and green beans.
All right, I know what Jeremiah's bringing to the next podcast.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me go ask my
Too
mom
late, you said it.
what her recipe was.
You go right ahead. I'm sure we got a Ouija board somewhere. This is a library. You think they got anything on summoning, raising the dead?
I guarantee
Necromancy.
it. How successful you are, I think, is really up to you.
Results
and
may vary.
they can't hear you so well on account of the dirt, but
Uh,
if you speak up,
My
maybe.
mom's cremated. She's sitting in my curio cabinet
Oh,
right now.
you've got a much easier time of it. I would say.
Okay, great.
So it sounds like that you've got some homework to do. I'm expecting some fried chicken pot pie next Monday.
Crud.
That's what you get for bringing it up.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of odd things, I'm going to go ahead and interrupt again and say, Jeremiah, what is your guess? Stipulation here, what we're doing is the library's film festival's coming up. Tyler, are you
yes.
going to enter it? You should enter it. Answer it.
I thought about it, but I have an idea for something I would do. I just don't
You're
think
just afraid I would beat you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the thing. I saw the entries last year and I was like, oh man. Like just because I have an idea, there's so much more to it.
Oh yeah.
The lighting and the shooting and the audio, and I just don't think I've got
And then
it
there's
in
the
me.
other part where the judges don't understand that the audio was meant to do a certain thing and they don't like it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that the space you're playing in isn't capable of doing what you wanted the audio to do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But John is making a film for this, and I told him I'll guess what it is. Because I've had good luck with it, and he's used me in the past too. This time he said, Jeremiah will never guess what I'm going to make.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've taken a weekly guess, and I forgot to do last week's guess too.
Well, because last week was
Correct.
pre-recorded.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to, you take 2 guesses this week.
Okay. The life cycle of a tree.
No.
Wait for it,
now wait.
because it starts post-death. Like you watch the tree fall, and then it goes to the lumber yard, and you hear its like inner monologue as it's being sliced and planed and turned into various kinds of lumber, and eventually it becomes like this beer coaster kind of thing, and its greatest day ever is when it gets to slide with the glass down the bar.
Oh my God! How did you guess so wrong?
Because I'm talented.
All right. Now guess number 2.
Guess number 2. Some kind of spacey thing, I'm thinking. Something vehicle related, but it's like a mechanic. Like he's a mechanic for vehicle repair shops, and everyone comes in with the weirdest of problems and stuff like that, but he's just really good. Everyone on their block has this Ben who can just fix it. Just take it to Ben down the way. He'll charge you $50. And
I'm going to tell you, that's probably the closest you've been, but you're still not even in the same encyclopedia. So, no. But to add to that, you have to, deadline for submissions or entry, signing up is the 31st, correct?
I think so. I've heard the 31st mentioned, but I can't remember if it's April or a couple
May.
weeks. Yeah.
May. So you have till May 31st, because that's when things are going to start getting announced, to guess.
Okay.
All right. So there we go. And for Ford asked he says film festival time? Cool. Yes, the Owen County Public Library is having a film festival. You have until, I think, May 31st to sign up. You have until August something to turn it in. And there's no rule saying you have to be of the state for it. So if you want to make one, you can register online and send us your stuff. And I'm sure Nicole would be thrilled. So, yeah. But yeah, Jeremiah, you're not even in the same plane of existence.
I'll get there.
You'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. But yeah, I encourage everybody and anybody to enter
Right.
this. This is fun. It's free. There are prizes for the top 3. There might be different categories. There's all sorts of stuff coming up. It's a really good time to just promote everything and have some.
Learn a new skill, stretch your boundaries a little bit,
Sure.
do new
Become
things.
artistic.
Can they watch previous year's film festivals anywhere? Were they recorded?
You can see the old ones on the Owen County Public Library YouTube page. You can see what's there. They did ask us to make trailers last year, so I made a trailer and turned it in, and that's part of the reason why you have till the 31st of May, because that's when trailers are supposed to start going up, according to what I understand from Dakota.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, Dakota, too bad. I'm kicking that date.
They also showed like another independent film festival here the week before or the week after
For
at the public library for.
the Manhattan Shorts.
Yes.
That's a totally different thing, but
Right.
it's still, you can enter that. It costs you a little money to enter it, but you go up against tens of thousands of videos, and they hold an online version of it, and the library provides free tickets to the Manhattan Shorts. And
That's what I was remembering.
Okay.
it is, you get some really neat stuff, some great inspiration there, and I just feel so inadequate sometimes watching those. It's like, I know, okay, raise the bar again, damn it.
Uh-huh.
And Ford says maybe not this year, but maybe next. So hopefully
Yeah.
we can do that.
Hopefully next year I'll be able to do something. I've had an idea floating around in my head, but
You can so do it this year. You don't believe in yourself.
no, I don't.
You know what you keep saying?
I
It's
don't
that
have
next
time.
step. No,
Mhm.
it's that next step. You have the time to take the step. I know you do.
Yeah.
I think all of those ideas you just came up with, like any of those,
Mm-hmm.
is a successful short film.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
That's why I thought John would do those.
yeah,
He's
You're
just taking these guesses. He's writing them down
that's
later.
what. Yeah, he's like the next.
I didn't say I wasn't.
Like the next 6 years in a row is just going to be all these guesses from someone, either listening or just John stealing or
Yeah.
me stealing.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
These ideas come free of charge. If you would like,
TM.
if you would like to, then just credit me in the credits.
TM.
Ideas inspired
Story
from the
by-
words of Jeremiah Freeman.
TM. Jeremiah Freedom. TM.
If I come up with any ideas, I'm charging a license fee for every time you
TM.
show it. TM.
I've
License
just trademarked
TM
everything.
fee.
Yes.
Yes. Haha! You can't get me now. That's how it works. It's dibs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rich people dibs.
I know.
Trademarks.
Trademarks.
And then I'm going to turn into an NFT. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
wait till you see the tangent cryptocurrency coming up. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Got some crypto coming out. I'm sure nothing will go wrong or
No,
be strange.
of course not.
Cryptocurrency never is volatile or a scam or
Never.
crazy in any way. I don't think it ever has been.
No, I don't have any money launderers, so I'm sure I'll go into it just fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm a few $100,000 down right now. My
Oh.
cryptos are not doing good.
I'm
Few
sorry. to hear
100,000. I'm
Well,
sorry.
a few hundred or about 1,000. That's.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if you had a few 100,000 in crypto, when was that? Because you should have told me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nope.
We could have had an even bigger film festival,
I know, right?
Right.
or maybe two, just because.
Yeah.
Just because we can.
No.
Just because we can.
No. I missed out on Dogecoin. I got in beforehand. I would have got to take it to the moon when it spiked, but I thought it'd go higher, and then I blinked, and 2 hours later it dropped 50%,
Oh.
and I didn't get out in time.
Oh
It
no.
never does that.
No, it's not
Never.
volatile at all.
I have a buddy
Oh.
who made about $10,000 on Dogecoin,
Mm-hmm.
and he never ceases to tell me,
That's
like, hey, guess what I did? Yeah, I know what you did.
yeah,
I got $10,000 from Dogecoin. Oh, that's interesting.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Hey, guess what I did? Absolutely nothing with Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Ah!
Ha.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm down about $300 in Litecoin too.
Oh. That one never really did go anywhere. It seemed like it was going to be the alternative
Mhm.
back in the day.
I had $0 in pie, but I've got a lot of pie.
Yeah, same.
Oh man,
Piecoin.
Pike is that one?
That's
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Oh,
You mine it
interesting.
on your phones.
Oh, I'm good.
mm-hmm.
My phone has enough issues as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody's phone has a personality issue, so.
Yep.
I can't live up to my expectations. I'm not fast enough for you.
It's not you.
No,
Apples
you're-
suck. Apples are the worst. I want your opinion.
Mhm.
Apple phones. I'm not comparing it to any others, just in general. Apple phones.
Apple phones are fine until the moment they are not.
You need them?
Do you need them? No, I don't
No,
think
no,
so.
to the moment you need them.
Oh, sure, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. No, they're okay until the battery gets weak, and if you can have somebody that can repair it for you, it's okay.
But what about when the firmware decides to slow everything down because it wants you to buy a new one?
Yes, that's bad. But I mean, I think you can point to about any tech company worth $1 billion and go, why did they do that? That seems pretty bad. So I'm no lovely supporter of Google either for Android. I just prefer Android because
Windows is trash.
Because there's a few apps. Yeah, the more I get to work with Windows, the more I appreciate how much everything is just held together by like tacks and duct tape.
Bubble gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the phones are like, you might as well just open up a 1999 laptop and hope that your Windows 98 still works.
As opposed to a Windows phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they've got Windows phones anymore.
Oh, I hope they got
Well,
that'd be great.
that's funny. Actually, I think Microsoft came out with a phone not too long ago, and it's the Surface phone, but it runs Android, and it like flips open, and has
So
two
they got
screens.
rid of their Windows then.
It
Yeah.
runs on Android.
Yeah, even they have come around. Microsoft, of all people. Not only did they give up on their browser to make Chrome, which is what Edge is, just a fork of Chrome, they went ahead and did Android and for all their Windows phones. So there you go. And the new Windows 11, I think, I've not really messed with it much, can run Android apps somehow natively.
Huh.
So they're really going all in against Apple in every way that they can.
Okay.
Because Apple sucks.
Yeah.
I can get free apps more than you.
Mm-hmm.
I can get more spyware than you.
Haha, freedom to really mess my device up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, Apple is lovely until you want to do something that they haven't thought of. And then, oh my goodness, they do not want you to do it.
I tried to make my own ringtone one time.
Mm.
And to do that, I had to download what I wanted to do on my computer. Transfer it from a MP3 to a WAV, from a WAV to some other proprietary file type so that I could load it into iTunes.
Oh.
And then while it was in iTunes, I could put it on my phone a certain way, not in the music section. It has to go in like ringtones, and then I had to go into my phone and set it as my ringtone.
Ringtone.
Whew.
Yeah.
I have not figured out how to do text tones yet
Oh, no.
because I want that Navi from Ocarina of Time. Hey, listen!
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That'd be an awesome text tone,
That would be a good one.
but it's hard.
It sounds like a bit of a process. I can usually just download an MP3 and then kind of put it where it goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, just, do I want my ringtone? Yes. Done.
But I'll take it. But honestly, though, does anybody keep their phone on loud anymore? Or is it just me? You keep your phone on loud still?
When I'm not in somewhere. Because generally, like if I'm locksmithing or doing something, I want to be able to hear it. So volume's all the way up, ringers on, and stuff like that. I have obviously turned my phone on silent, so I don't get that ticker by my name for this.
Ticker up. We need to.
Oh, how many
Because we
times
haven't
has it
had
gone
like
off?
nobody's phone has gone off in like 10 episodes.
Well, see, now everything is jinxed because I've had my phone on silent all day, and I just turned the volume on. I forgot to turn it back on. So we're just waiting for something to happen now.
Yeah. The library to call you and say, hey, can you fix our internet?
Something has gone wrong. There's someone in the tech room, and they're causing problems with our internet. I don't know why.
Yeah. When the internet crashed while we were using it, you blamed us, and then we come in the next week and it's down already.
No, that was the that was quite a thing, and I was on the phone with all sorts of people because of what happened there. So it wasn't you. It was.
That's on camera.
It just you specifically did not cause the problem that brought down the internet. It was probably going to happen anyway, and it was just unfortunate for you guys that day.
But we do want to say how grateful we are to the Owen County Library for allowing us to do this.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you, OCPL,
Yes.
for everything you do for the community.
Yep.
All the way from renting books and magazines to
lending. Rent
implies
yes.
money,
Payment.
currency, in exchange for goods and services. No. They lend, they borrow all kinds of different media to the public, from books and magazines to CDs to DVDs to video games.
Speaking of Tyler, what do you think of the app that allows you, as long as you're a member of a library, to access in Indiana alone over 200 other libraries?
Yes, that
Overdrive.
It's called Libby now.
Okay.
I think they merged. Somebody bought someone. I'm not entirely clear how it went down, but it's called Libby now. If you go to the library's website, it's right on the home page. And from what I'm hearing from everyone, this is like the biggest and greatest thing that we've gotten yet. There's just so much, and it's not even like they're still adding stuff. They're not done adding it. A bunch of people are still uploading their catalogs. So if you get it today, tomorrow there might be hundreds more things that you didn't have the day before. So
Okay.
It's something else.
I'll check into that for my necromancy book then.
I think it would be there, and if not, check
Yeah,
tomorrow.
have a chance, because that's 200 more libraries to
right,
go through,
yeah.
online content.
And
That's right.
that is awesome, especially for this building can only hold so much. If we get big books, we get less of them, and eventually we run out of space. But thanks to the magic of technology, we can have thousands and thousands and thousands of books just ready to go anytime you want.
All on a device this big.
Yes, so it's too small to read. No, but I think you can also, if you don't have internet at home, that's always kind of a thing around here.
Oh yeah, they offer public Wi-Fi that you can just park outside the library and log onto their Wi-Fi.
And it is all day, all night. It doesn't kick off if you.
Password's kind of difficult though.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you can download the books and while you're here, just download 6 or 7 books, and then take them with you, kind of like Spotify offline mode or whatever. And speaking of things like that, the library does have a lot of things you wouldn't think that you could check out. For one thing, Wi-Fi hotspots. You can check out a unlimited 4G hotspot for Verizon or AT&T. They're pretty heavily filtered because they're meant to just help kids that don't have access to the internet so they can do their homework. But there's all sorts of other stuff you can do with it.
So no only fans or anything?
No. We did check. We had to. That's part of our duty as a library to filter certain things for certain reasons. But you can check those out for either a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. And so if you don't have any kind of internet at home and you're running low on data, it might be something worth looking into. Video games. We relatively recently got Switch games, finally, for the Nintendo Switch. And the newest, grandest, most exciting thing that we all are playing with lately is a 3D printer. So that has been a lot of fun, a lot of...
If only we had something to show off on camera.
If only there was something interesting that we could dangle in front.
And sadly, though,
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
A creature has leapt into your arms. So this is a non-TM chocolate frog from non-Harry Potter TM.
Hold it back a little bit because you're out of focus. There you go.
But this was something we 3D printed out of some brown filament. But this was all printed in one piece, and you can see that he has joints. So we just hit start, waited. I think that one took about 5.5 hours or so. So it takes a while, but you can end up with something pretty impressive. And right now, it is offered to the public. So if you would want to come in and try your hand at making something with a 3D printer.
I think it'll be having classes soon too.
There was a class next door at the Lifelong Learning Center. I don't know if they're going to be doing another one or not. But if you want to come in and learn, the basics, they will be able to help you out at the front desk.
Any lower than that, you're in the little bar.
Where our website, our email.
Email is, yes.
Email us down here for questions and comments and concerns.
Yes.
Right down here.
And if you're like 3D printing, sounds cool, don't know anything about it, you want to learn basically something so you understand it, there is a 3D printing page on the library's website that's got about a 30-minute video that basically starts you from zero knowledge learning what all the words mean, because there's lots of terminology that goes with it, how they work, and what can you actually do with them and what you can't. It's a pretty good video, and there's some other information specifically about our printer and the policies of using it as a library. So.
Yeah. A friend of mine just got a 3D printer last week. He's really excited about that. It's a resin printer.
Oh, yes. So there are 2 different kinds, and the resin printers can get a lot more detailed. So if you're wanting to print something like D&D minifigures, that's the way to go. Not that you can't do it with these, but the ones you get on the resin printers are heads and tails more interesting, detailed, all that stuff.
You brought up D&D. Any particular reason? Is it something you're into, or just something?
It just seems to always go along with a 3D printer, whether you like it or not. You're either making armor, or some kind of weapon, or minifigures, or maps, topographical maps. I've seen people that have taken like a topographical map, turned it into a 3D model, and then like, here's the D&D world, plunk. It's like, oh, that's kind of neat.
So what character do you play?
Currently,
I haven't played for so long. I don't even know the rules of the current game, probably.
Rules are for suckers.
Whatever the GM says is the rule.
Yeah, the rule of cool, I do know that one. If it's cool, maybe it doesn't have to always follow.
Yeah.
I always liked the lizard folks. I don't know why. I always gravitated towards them. No matter what I was playing, I always wanted to be a lizard folk. Something about it spoke to me.
That raw, primal, just kind of go along and survive.
Yeah, they're not necessarily on a quest, on a path. They just, whatever's the next thing, they just do it. You look into a lizard's eyes and you see
nothing.
They don't. Nothing. They got nothing there, and that's comforting to me in a way. So.
I always like the fact they got that extra action for their tails and turn that into a mace. Yep. Which, having owned lizards, is a very realistic aspect.
I used to have a gecko back in college, but it got sick, and she's no longer with us, and that was that. But
rip gecko.
Yep. Poor Gemma. I 3D printed a gecko to remember her by.
Ah.
There's a partial axolotl over here, but it's screwed up. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to that one, but we kept it as an example of like to show how the infill works on something that's not entirely solid. You can see all the crisscross infill patterns on it, and it's rainbow, so it's kind of neat over there.
Yeah, that's got more like a chameleon sort of filament to its eyes. It's sweet.
It is. But yeah, so 3D printer, everybody's really excited about it. So if that is interesting at all, you can come in and use the one here without having to put one together yourself or really fight with all the weird things that they do. Because they are fun, but they are a hobby. They're not just a magic push the button, get what you want machine. Yet. They're on their way, but right now they're still, I think it's probably comparable to like the way computers were in the 80s, where it was like, you might know somebody that had a computer, but it was like a hobby. You were always messing around with it, trying to get it to do some weird thing.
If there was something you wanted to do, chances are you had to splice 2 things together to get it to do something, and you had to know how to do it.
I was playing Bard's Tale in like 84. Come on. I had to load each disc up, like 5-inch.
Sure, but you always knew the one guy that got his to do something special, or you could take a pencil and draw a trace that would overclock the CPU. I think there's a lot of that in 3D printing now, where you can, you can 3D print parts for it, so you always, make a new piece and see if that makes anything better, or it's all based on open source like Arduino, so if you know anything about that, you can hack it to make it do all sorts of crazy things.
I know a lot of speed is the material you're using. If you can't form, melt, and solidify the fast enough, then you can't speed up.
Yeah, and that is a big part of it. There's all sorts of settings and numbers, and then there's G-code, which is some kind of language that goes with CNC routers that got adapted to this, and I don't understand that. It's pretty neat. It's all pretty neat. So if you like that sort of thing, it is a lot of fun. And I did get one for myself. Not as nice as this one, but it's more of a especially a hobbyist machine. And I've got it all in pieces 10 or 11 times. Broken it, fixed it, so there's a lot to it.
Yeah. You should check out the app Godville. Godville. You are a god, you have a champion, and he goes and does quests. You can talk to him, you don't have to. He just does quests on his own. It's an idle game. But some of the commentary is absolutely hilarious.
There was a game, I believe, sometime in the 90s called Populous.
Yeah.
And you were God, and you would put your people around and tell them to do stuff. And they build a population, and rival gods would come in and try to take over your area. And you move across the map. It was like Age of Empires, but gods.
But you were just God.
Black and White was kind of along
That's what I was
same line, too.
I think I played that one. But, speaking of that, if you like that kind of game, there is a relatively fancy gaming computer over here with triple monitors, and we've got a Steam server set up where you can come and borrow games while you log into your own Steam account. So you come in, sign into your own Steam, borrow one of our games, and then you can keep the save and come back another day. Or if you get really far and decide you actually like the game, you can buy it yourself and carry over your save that you started while you were here.
That's the nice thing about Steam.
Cloud.
Oh, I need to start another computer because this one died. I still have everything.
Yes, all the
Cloud sync.
The cloud save, man. There's ways you can get around that, but man, nothing's near as easy as that.
No.
And I guess Steam is the one giant billion-dollar company that I'm mostly good for them. Most of the stuff they've done has not been horrifically evil.
Praise Gaben.
Yes.
Praise Gaben. The creator. You don't understand that reference.
Yes, I do.
I watched Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, all right. Well, that's right. You watched it. I keep forgetting you did.
Yeah.
He doesn't watch movies.
Oh, no.
How many movies have you watched this year so far?
4.
4.
I watched one on Friday.
Ooh, what'd you watch?
Evolution.
That's a good one. You are so... That's
yes.
it. I'm killing him.
It was that one.
Don't know if I know that one.
Okay, you got it's David.
Oh.
Company, God.
We were talking about Will Smith and Chris and some of those type of actors. Nicolas Cage.
Sucks.
Back in the 80s. What? The one movie he was evidently good in or something like that.
Oh, that was Raising Arizona?
No.
Because that actually fit him. It was perfect for him.
That was amazing.
He was in with young Jim Carrey, like young Jim Carrey before he was a name. They sang a cappella in the movie.
Jim Carrey sang a cappella.
I mean, the only one I can remember that Jim Carrey was... Oh, no, that wasn't Jim Carrey. Oh, it was Jim Carrey. That was Earth Girls Are Easy.
No.
It was Jim Carrey... but no, that wasn't... that was somebody else. No,
it was set in the 80s, and this woman time traveled back to her 17-year-old body in the 50s, and going through high school and young adulthood again and stuff like that. Anyway, we were...
That was Carrey and Cage, huh? Okay.
I think he's making it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll look that up here in a minute.
This is another idea for the film festival if you want to steal it.
We were talking about those, and a friend of mine said, we should watch Evolution. It was kind of along that same comedy alley. So we watched Evolution.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Evolution is a movie about a scientist who's kind of lost all his credibility, ends up working at a community college in the middle of Arizona. An asteroid lands, and it actually is carrying...
a new
life on it, and that life starts from single cell and evolves, hence evolution.
Weekly.
Moment.
Yeah.
Basically, it evolves to the point to try to take over the world.
Yep.
And they stop it. That's all you need to know.
You ruined the movie.
No, I didn't, because I didn't tell you how they stopped it.
Yeah, but I know how it ends.
Of course, it's a movie. Name one movie, which you should be able to, that has a sad ending.
A sad ending?
Where nobody wins, everybody dies, or something like that.
Let's see. 7th Star Wars? No, 8th Star Wars. The 8th Star Wars. Everyone dies, nobody wins, and everyone's sad. They play happy music at the end, but it's not happy.
Sorry.
I don't remember if they because not everybody died in episode 8.
Yeah, most of them did. Most of them were either dead or died in that movie.
Are you talking about like the Skywalker lineage or the other stories?
Just
Because if you go with Rogue One or Rouge One, depending on how you spell it,
Rouge. Yeah.
that's where everybody dies because they're getting the plans.
Well, that's true. I guess that could have been a better example, but that was still like an uplifting. Like they died for the cause to defeat the.
You're right. It's not a perfect, but it's also like, oh well, they didn't happen to magically survive and go on. And I felt that was needed. Everybody needed to die in that one. The main characters, when I say everybody, because not everybody can have a happy ending. And in episode 8, I'm sorry, Finn is still there, Poe is still there. Poe was actually supposed to die in episode 7, but everybody liked him so much that during the production they said, oh, we got to keep this character. They, instead of retroactively filming something and showing him survive, he just pops up later and saying, oh yeah, he got away.
Oh, it turns out he was fine.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, he got away.
And then, of course, you had Finn and Poe's moment there where everybody's wondering if you can have their first Star Wars gay couple on there, but that didn't happen.
Not in China.
Right.
No,
Not in China.
Never in China.
But that still was, although episode 8 was supposed to be their third act, it still wasn't as dark as it could have been.
Yeah, I never did see that one, because 7, I was like, oh, the whatever is crushed, whatever they call it, the rebellion. They weren't the rebellion.
They weren't the rebellion anymore because the
What were they
Republic
rebelling?
over. They were now, yeah.
So they were all defeated, and Luke Skywalker evaporated, and it's like, what do we do now? I don't know. We just gotta figure it out. The end.
Oh no!
Which really probably
But
Empire Strikes Back is the same. Everybody
Empire
got
Strikes Back was actually well put together. Had a nice solid story. It being a good bad third act or a middle act. You know, it was that nice.
Oh
Dark.
sure.
Oh my God! Characters missing. Somebody loses a hand. It's all bad. Oh.
Yeah, and it's a good second act, but
Second act. Thank you.
sure, yeah. No, I'm not saying that it's equal or better or whatever compared to Empire Strikes Back.
I can't find that movie right now. I know it exists.
Oh, you were trying to prove that Nicolas Cage and Jim Carrey were in the same
Ford
movie?
Fitch, thanks for letting us know this. Jim Carrey was in a brief, non-comedic role in Dirty Harry movie.
That wasn't it. I don't
The
think.
Deadpool.
I don't think
No,
that
that
was
wasn't
it.
the movie you were watching. Definitely.
No.
Interesting. So, what about Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, though?
Meh, could care less.
Haven't seen the movie.
I haven't either. I'm just saying, like, in general, as
in
the zeitgeist,
I
is
can-
he Dr. Robotnik in your heart?
No.
Because I tell you what, I think he's won me over.
I can see him playing that part and playing it well.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
it's not for him. It's not his
You don't
role.
think so?
I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that would be better.
That's what I'm
Danny
saying.
DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
He's got the right stature and everything else. He could do
That's
it.
fair, but
Do you think he would fly around in a machine, though? Like, his machine would be like...
2 words. The Penguin.
The Penguin. Yeah, he had his thing. He was the
Yeah,
Penguin.
but if you remember, he was up in those. They were flying around and he was
Yeah, but that
hoisted
was-
for a while, and he did pretty good as that. I mean,
That was
I
in
can
the
see him
90s, though. He's got to
So
be
he's
getting...
old. Big deal. Look at all the other old actors that are still doing
like
stuff.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. I like Jim Carrey, Dr. Robotnik. I've never seen the movies. They may be terrible. But
Mhm.
just him
The thought.
being that. I think of The Mask.
That's exactly
And
what I
I'm
was
like,
gonna say.
you just tweak that a little bit. That's a pretty
Mhm.
good evil Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, he could be a good one too.
I think he could play a pretty good one.
He's pretty good in everything.
Well, yeah.
He's kind of just amazing in general.
Well, he was doing this prank show one time, and
Oh,
he started it off with his intro, and he can act, he can sing, he can dance. And I'm an octuple threat.
octuple.
But that's what he said about himself.
I would agree to that. Like, he could host a game show, like, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
He's
He
a
is a
theater
game
guy.
show, come on.
Right.
Theater guy. He's had his TV show, which I don't really care for, but it was very popular for years.
There's some
Movies.
funny lines out of it
Yeah.
and scenes.
Yeah, so he may be the world's first octuple threat.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But I picture him like Dr. Horrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Exactly.
that-
Maybe that's what it is that I'm thinking of. It's
Yeah.
like that's pretty much just a drop-in replacement.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I'm going to take this time to mention another service that the public library does, and they offer a home for Owen Valley Sounds.
Oh, yes.
Rehearsing violin upstairs. You can hear them, or at least
Well,
we can.
Most of our episodes they have not actually made it onto the broadcast. But
Mhm.
yes, upstairs right now we have a violin class / rehearsal going on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep, and depending on when you're here, you'll probably hear them. I usually do. The room they rehearse in is right above us, and it just travels down through probably
Mm-hmm.
one of these air ducts, and
Yep.
you
I
just
was
get
here-
serenaded by violins. while
Mhm.
you're here.
I was here like on Wednesday, and they did a whole John Williams thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Oh,
Just kept
wow.
going. I was like, wow, keep going.
Just
And, yeah.
John Williams medley.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Nice.
awesome. See
Ooh.
what you're missing.
Ooh, hang on.
Come on down.
I'm getting some ideas now. That'd make a good medley. I could orchestrate that.
Are you gonna do a John Williams medley?
For my film festival thing? No.
You know, when you say John Williams medley, it sounds like it's supposed to be like a special drink or something.
Yeah, I'll take a John Williams medley on the rocks, shake and not stirred.
Sounds good
With a
right
little
now.
bit of zest, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think John Williams, whatever movie he's going to work on next, is going to make $1 billion no matter what, just from the soundtrack alone.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the movie's bad, you put John Williams on there, he carries it across the finish line no matter what.
There's so many composers out there that have turned bad movies into phenomenal movies, and vice versa. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been listening lately. Speaking of interesting compositions on YouTube, I think I might have told you about this. They're called the Game Brass.
I don't think so.
Maybe
I've
not.
heard of them though.
Okay, they're just a brass band that do
Mhm.
video game covers,
Yeah.
but they do all their own arrangements for a brass quintet or whatever, and it's
Okay.
they're all really impressive.
Okay. I've heard of
from
them.
me, Mister, I played trumpet for a semester in 7th grade. What do I
Yeah.
know? But I find it.
I played tuba a little bit for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So, and trombone, baritone,
Come on, tuba, trumpet, what's the difference? What,
A
40,
little-
50 pounds?
a little bit of trumpet, saxophone, clarinet, bassoon, strings, percussion,
Bells.
All at the
Mhm.
same time.
glockenspiel.
Like what's his name from Mary Poppins, where he was playing all the instruments. at
Don't
the
know,
same
haven't
time.
seen it.
Oh, that's right. Trying to do references with him. He has no references, no frame of reference.
That was one of the Van Dykes, wasn't it, that did that?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
He was the,
Dick Van Dyke.
he
Yeah.
was the basically one-man band. Accordion,
Mhm.
drum, trumpet, horn, a whole bunch of things. Yeah.
There was somebody that did a one-man band thing on America's Got Talent, like
Mhm.
10 years ago or something like that. And sounded okay.
You're a one-man band. I don't think anybody's going to be like truly phenomenal as a one-man band.
Yeah.
Is it just doing that in self and sounding good
Mm-hmm.
is a hell of an accomplishment.
Yeah, I feel like I recognize that song. You've already gone farther than most one-man
Yeah.
Single
bands could.
instruments.
Yeah. Yeah, really. When I get to playing something, I'm like, get 3 notes and then start over in 3 notes. And in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm nailing this. Someone else is just getting driven insane that's anywhere near me. So.
He doesn't understand pitch. He doesn't understand pitch. That's
No.
me, by the way. I know.
Yeah.
Especially when you play the accordion, everyone just not the I don't
Bagpipes.
accordion. Bagpipes, yeah.
I know a bagpipe player.
We should have
Do you?
dueling annoying instrument battles.
Dueling.
Here, would the library let us do that?
They're doing violins upstairs. Not annoyingly.
Well,
Challenge accepted. Let's do it.
well,
We can detract people. It's like, today, accordion versus bagpipe.
Oh yeah.
And then it'll be bagpipe versus mouth harp.
harmonica.
There you
No,
go.
no.
Bad harmonica.
Poing, doing, you know, those. Not the
Mhm.
harmonica.
No.
mouth harp.
Harmonicas, unless they're done at an okay level, they just go through me. That whole,
Well,
back and
okay,
forth.
we can add that to the list. I'll totally accept that. Yeah.
yeah, slide whistle.
Well, it have to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Kazoos.
Kazoos.
Yeah. This battle could go
Didgeridoo.
well.
Is your ranking like
Yeah.
which rendition is absolutely the worst, or which instrument versus how well you brought the actual song out.
Who made an actual? Okay, we have two categories.
Mhm.
One, who made the song? Who played it well?
Right.
Versus who destroyed it the most. It still has to be
Okay.
recognizable, and you can't just flub it. You've actually got to legitimately try to play it as bad as that instrument will allow you to play it, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. So like you take the bagpipe and you play a song that was never meant for it,
Mm-hmm.
but you try
Oops,
as hard as you can with the
did it again.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like stomping your foot for the bass drum.
Yeah, I'm all for that. We can do it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of thinks I hate it renditions.
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks, I hate it. All right, coming up soon on Tangents on Everything and Nothing, Thanks, I Hate It edition. If you'd like to enter our contest for World's Most Annoying Instruments, or however else we want to figure out the category, email radioactivecheck@timeofyourhalf-life.com.
Is it there?
Usually
Yeah.
it's over here.
Okay,
It's
right.
directly below Jeremiah.
Directly
Yeah.
below Jeremiah. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
It's right there.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
The
Amazing.
magic of technology.
Mhm.
So it's technomancy. We're technomancers.
Technomancers.
Yes.
I actually, I'm an artificer, and I actually am the only person in the world that figured out how to make a gun, and so I have a gun canonically, and I can shoot people anytime I want.
Mm-hmm. From a
So
far
you
away.
have played recently.
Don't call me out like that. I don't have
I
time.
don't have a gun, I have an arquebus.
Arquebus, yeah, it's different.
That's right.
It's powered by some sort of steam technology, so it's not the same.
I use these weird elements and I push them together and then I use a flame dragon to ignite them. And yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
And just, like, there's dragons, you can turn into things, you can have enchanted swords, and, like, why are you even bothering with a gun? It's so stupid at that point. You have so many better options, neater options. I don't know. But
Because guns are fun for some people.
they can be fun.
I want lasers.
Lasers?
Mm-hmm.
Is there
I
such...
cast Scorching Ray at 3rd level.
To me, it's just a laser. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Done.
Yeah, it's a laser. Put it through a magnifying glass. Now it's double laser.
Yep.
No, that's a splitter, not a magnifying glass.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's different.
Disintegrate, 5th level spell.
Okay.
Twin spell. 4 sorcery points.
How about death?
I'm not a nerd.
Oh.
I know I'm asking the stupid question, but is there like a D&D set in a sci-fi universe instead?
You can set D&D. 5th Ed has given you rules and stuff to adapt it however you want. However,
Go ahead.
there's also a role-playing system called GURPS that
Okay.
stands for Generic Universal Role-Playing System, who has different books and editions and stuff like that to adapt to anything like that.
Not what I was going
However,
to talk about. Long story short,
there's
pick
also
your genre. It's there.
there's
Yeah,
also
that's what I
Shadowrun that's a little bit
Oh, what have I
steampunk
done?
futuristic.
That's magic in cyberpunk. not
However,
steampunk. See, you got your however wrong. You even got your Shadowrun wrong.
and there's some
You're not even a nerd anymore.
there's some
Give me your
Actually-
nerd card back.
fate systems that are space oriented. There's a Star Wars RP system, couple of those I think.
Yeah.
D20 systems.
I'm basically just thinking like
No, they're D10.
do your
they're
own
D10.
Star Trek adventures, flying
Those
around in
exist too.
space,
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Yeah. If there's a role-playing game, there's probably a system out there for it already.
I figured, yeah. It's like I will be the first person to think of that. No.
Knights of the Old
There's
Republic.
even a Cthulhu one too. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars, took some rules from the Star Wars TTRPG and adapted that to an MMO.
Sure.
And then the TTRPG pulled from the MMO to improve upon their game. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is scheduled to come out this year, I think.
Oh,
They're re-releasing it or updating it or something like that. So,
it would be a good game to update because
yes.
boy, oh boy, we've come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It was groundbreaking at the time, but some games, especially the early 3D ones,
Yeah.
are hard to revisit.
Right.
They just don't hold up.
Heroes versus Villains?
I don't know if I played that one. Was that PlayStation?
No, that was PC.
Okay.
It was, it came out like a year and a half after World of Warcraft did. But you played as a hero or you played as a villain. and you got to fly, you got super strength, but you kind of had to specialize in different trees and stuff like that. But it was one of the first games where you could kind of fly with human physics and stuff like that. It wasn't. It was ahead of its time.
Okay.
But they finally shut it down like 4 years ago. Shut all the
wow.
servers down. It was hanging on by a thread, but
It didn't have the renaissance that, what's that game? The online RPG that everybody still plays for some reason.
World of Warcraft.
Well, that one. This was a free one.
Rift.
No.
Final Fantasy 14. You can play your character free up to level 60.
Oh, and then once the game finally gets fun, you don't get to play anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, level 60, it's only level 70 max, or level 80. They just updated it. But you can play through 80% of the game completely free.
Oh, no.
Forrest says take his nerd card back for that bastardization of Shadowrun.
Oh.
Wah, wah,
Oh,
wah.
oh.
Lo siento.
There's also
Sorry.
Starfinder is another one.
Uh-huh.
You'll have to take mine. I was thinking of RuneScape.
Oh,
RuneScape is what I
yeah.
was thinking of.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get it out of my brain, but that was the one.
Sorry, I've not played or did any research into Shadowrun other than I demoed it at Gen Con 1 year with Raymond, and he hates TTRPGs like that, and I played this rogue character for about 10 minutes, and that's all I remember.
Then you have not experienced
No,
Shadowrun. Yeah.
no, I haven't. But
I would love to play Shadowrun again, but let's clear some spot on the table first.
yeah.
Say that could be a spin-off series.
That
Start
could
a
be-
Shadowrun game for the
That
podcast
could
on
actually
Wednesday.
be season 2 of the upcoming D&D podcast we've got going, which is currently called The Necromantic Empire.
Sounds great.
Yeah. See, we're doing a little twist here. Rather than playing the adventurers, the people are playing the encounters, and they work for the big corporation that's trying to take over the world.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm playing in that one. I'm playing a warg who's going to go into the fighter class, but dog, big giant dog is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I'm going to take my food, eat in the corner. When people come into my room, I'll kill them, or I won't, depending on what my job is for that day. Sometimes I'll let them pet me. Sometimes I'll play with them roughly. Usually their arm. I'll take that over to my spot with or without them. And yeah.
I was playing Dungeon Master the other day. It was on GOG for like 99 cents. And that was always a lot of fun. Just the hand that could fly around and you could slap your minions.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, that's just so silly. This is a good game. It's it's another one that someone should remake just to make it not so difficult to try to interact with these days.
So Ford also says about Shadowrun, it's got really good background-wise over the last 20 years. Rules have been ... interesting. I prefer the Anarchy alternative rule set. That is more storytelling / cinematic. And Dungeon Keeper was a blast.
Cool.
Yep. Hey Ford, if you're still listening, which you're obviously are because you're typing to us, are you interested in helping be one of the voices for the upcoming D&D podcast we have coming? Because I need people to play NPCs and announcements and stuff like that. So let me know. But on that note, we are also looking at 1 minute. What do we want to close on?
1 minute. You know, like any good poems or limericks or anything like that? Putting you on the spot.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
Wow. You know what? I guess he wasn't.
Whew.
I don't know.
Some people ask, who was Fuzzy Wuzzy? No one ever asks, how was Fuzzy Wuzzy?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm going to get through my week now.
I know the conundrum that existential dread that creates. I can only think of one other thing.
John, hit the button.